We can feel shifting winds in the real estate market, but what does the data say? We'll talk about that coming up next. Hey, what's going on, friends? Dylan Naka here with the Buy Big Island Market Report. The data was a little bit late this month, so sorry for the late information, but nevertheless, the information is good and definitely interesting this month. The winds of change are in the air in the real estate industry, and we're definitely feeling it on the ground. And we'll go through the data this month and kind of show what those indicators were last month. And I think they're going to even be stronger coming up in the subsequent months. But getting into the May data this is just the Kona Market, as we always start. And as we've been seeing the last couple of months, the number of units are falling, right? So there was more homes selling a year ago, more condos, more pieces of land than there were a year ago. And that's somewhat due to inventory, but now we're seeing that is not necessarily the case. And I'm going to get into that on the last slide here. But median price continues to be up across the board in the Kona Market, 22% for homes, 44% for condos, 13% for land. So price-wise, no decrease or downward shift or anything like that in the median price. And then days on market also still very, very low, down 63% for homes, down 72% for condos, only 13 days on market for condos, and 30 days on market for land is extremely low number if you looked at these numbers historically and been following these market reports for the last couple of years. And then final list of sold price, 93% for homes, 102%. We've been seeing this right for the last few months. The condo final list of sold price always over 100%, and for land up to 107%. Only 10 pieces of land sold in Kona, but you never see that either where the land price is above 100%. So very interesting piece of data there. And then as we look at the Big Island market as a whole, somewhat similar, but if you look at the number of homes, no change from a year ago. So the exact same number of homes that sold a year ago sold this year in May. Condos were down 11%, mainly because there's very, very little condo inventory on the market. And then land was actually up a little bit to 289. And we've been seeing this, right? The land market has kind of caught on fire because the home inventory shrank, then the condo inventory shrank, and then now people have shifted over to buying land. And then median price, interesting, wasn't that much higher this month than it was a year ago. Only 3% higher, but on the condo market it was 24% higher, and on the land market it was 66% higher. So the land, we've seen this number down in the 20,000s for many, many years. That median price on land, and now we're up above 50,000. Now it's to 60,000. So super, super strong appreciation in the land market. And then average days on market, again, down across the board, right? Down 40% for homes, down 55% for condos, down 35% for land. So things are selling very quickly. And then final list of sold price was, this is interesting, down 4% from a year ago, so 92%. So we're seeing that home final list of sold price kind of come back to where it was historically. We'll see if that number continues to be consistent going forward. But on the condo market, as we've been seeing the last few months, 101% final list of sold price, and land 98% final list of sold price. But the real piece of data that tells the interesting story is this one. We always get into this last, but if you look at the number of active listings and the number of properties in escrow from a year ago, there was 1,400 active listings and almost 1,600 in escrow. So we saw this shift where there was more properties under contract than there were on the market. Very, very unusual. And it just showed how crazy strong the market was a year ago. And as we've been seeing the last couple of months, that gap went back the other way, right? So more listings than the number of properties in escrow. And then we've been seeing the gap grow over the last couple of months. And this is the biggest we've seen it in a very long time. So now there's 1,500, almost 1,600 active listings and 1,141 in escrow. So normally this is more of like a 2-to-1 or, even greater 3-to-1 ratio where there's 2 or 3 times as many active listings as there are properties in escrow. So we're still in a very low inventory market, but we're seeing the trend go back to where there is going to be significantly more active listings than there are properties in escrow. Some of this is due to sellers still being in the market from 6 months ago and being very aggressive on price. And so listings are staying longer on the market and buyers aren't buying them. And of course, the buyer demand has subsided with the drop in interest or the rise in interest rates and the weak stock market right now. A lot of buyers do not want to cash out their investments for a down payment because the stock market is so far down. So lots of things going on in the market. Still no huge crash in prices or anything like that, but it looks like we're in a transitional period where we're going to go back to more of a balanced normal market, and the data is starting to show that. We definitely feel it on the ground. There's a lot less activity in our listings, a lot less people coming to open houses. So we'll see. What the June data should be interesting, because it's going to be it's either going to continue on this trend and validate that that's what we're moving towards, is this transitional market back to a more balanced market, or it may not. So really looking forward to seeing what June does. But after being somewhat of a broken record for 18 months about how crazy strong the market was, this is the first time where we're seeing some data where it's definitely showing a shift back to some normalcy, which is probably going to be good for everybody. So if you have any questions or you want some specific data about your neighborhood or your area of the island, you can always email me at dylan@buybigisland.com. If you want to book a meeting and talk specifically about your situation or your plans about real estate here in Hawaii, you can book a meeting down below at the calendar link. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Talk to you guys next month with next month's market report. Aloha.